Time now for our transfer update. Lots happening already this morning. Oscar Bobb expected to have a medical with Fulham today ahead of completing a permanent move from Manchester City. Fulham have agreed a £27 million deal to sign the Norwegian. Crystal Palace, meanwhile, advancing with talks to sign that man, Jorgen Strand-Larsen from Wolves. No formal bid as yet, but one is expected from Crystal Palace. What does that Strand-Larsen news mean for Jean-Philippe Mateta? Well, Crystal Palace will only sell Mateta if his £40 million valuation is met, and they're happy to have him and Strand-Larsen both in their squad. Raheem Sterling, significant financial expectations make a move to Napoli. Hard to envisage. That's according to the Italian club. Sterling has left Chelsea by mutual agreement, bringing an end to 3.5 seasons at Stamford Bridge. Fiorentina, meanwhile, in talks with Chelsea over a potential deal for their centre-back Axel Disasi. West Ham have reluctantly given Lucas Paquetá permission to undergo a medical with Flamengo in Brazil after a £36.5 million deal was agreed for him. Fulham winger Harry Wilson, increasingly likely to become a free agent in the summer. He's in red-hot form as well. And James Ward-Prowse has joined Burnley on loan from West Ham until the end of the season. Don't forget. Right, we brought you the news, the breaking news earlier that Oscar Bobb, Mark McAdam, is having a medical today at Fulham. We can see some numbers, Mr. Mark Pugh, on the screen there. Oscar Bobb, in terms of goals, assists in the appearances that he's had under Pep Guardiola. That surprises me for someone of his talent, or are we being harsh?
It does. I've seen quite a lot of him, and I really like him. Lovely left foot, he's dynamic, quick, gets at players, can go inside, can go outside. And I thought it was a lot more than that. 3 goals, 4 assists, and a little bit surprised, but I think we need to take into consideration he's in an unbelievable City team and he's not getting a regular run of games. I think if you get a regular run of games, you build up that confidence, you score a goal or 2, then, you can keep backing that up. Whereas in a City team, you play 1 game, you might come out for 2 and it's a little bit all over the place. But I think for Fulham, he starts.
Different type of player to Cole Palmer, but could this come back to haunt Pep Guardiola and Manchester City in the same way that Palmer did? Because his numbers weren't great in a City shirt.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's a similar type. He takes it on the half turn really well. He's quick, he's sharp. He could probably play in the 10. I haven't seen him play as a 10, but he's that type of ability where he could play anywhere in the attacking third.
Ricardo Pepi, is this someone that could be a Fulham player come the end of the window?
Yeah, very possibly. USA international goal scorer. He's actually scored 11 goals in 9 starts in all competitions for PSV this season. Fulham have bid £28 million. PSV are currently considering the offer. He has a contract until 2030, so the card's very much in PSV's hands. But we know that Marco Silva wants to add some depth to the striking options he has at the football club, and Ricardo Pepi is the man that they're interested in. Be fascinating to see if they can get this one over the line because of the money they've already spent in this window. We know that Bob's just a matter of time now before that gets confirmed. But Pepi, Fulham, one to keep an eye on.
The broken arm's one to keep an eye on as well. I wonder how long that recovery is. So, broken arm call, Dr. Pugh? What are we looking at there? Best case scenario?
You don't run with your arm, do you?
That's what they want to hear.
To be fair, you recover really quickly these days. And if he's that good a player and he's got statistics like that, then you'd want to get him over the line before other clubs come in for him and then focus on that rehab and get him back playing as soon as possible.
Strap it up, lad. Get on with it. That's what Sean Dyche would say as well, isn't it? Let's get to Nottingham Forest. We're looking to be busy ahead of Monday's 7 p.m. deadline. They've been linked with a keeper, a defender and a striker in the last few days. Here is Dyche.
I've said to you all along, the club are a trading club. We know that. And they always make it clear to me that we're looking at options in varying positions. But fair to say, fullback's one of them with the left-back situation as much as anything. But yeah, we're looking at various options. It's not just that position. And you've all seen the news. So, we're just trying to be proactive to strengthen where we can and when we can.
Obviously, we know, the reports and the interest in Jean-Philippe Mateta as well. You've already signed a striker last week. You've got 2 strikers who scored at the weekend and Chris Wood. That's a lot of players potentially.
You love them strikers. I think a big man, we like them strikers, don't we? No, look, you want good players at your club, and we have got them. And if we can add strength to it, I said, a couple of months ago or a month ago when it's building up, the club's made it clear they'll support me, they'll support the team, they'll support the club. And I think the owner's made that clear all along. And he's willing to do that, but it still has to be the right people and we still have to get the right situation, the right fees agreed and contracts agreed and all that. So no, it's never done until it's actually done. So there's a couple of situations we're waiting on news, but if we can get good players in, we will do, and the owner's made that clear to me.
Sean Dyche loves the transfer window. Does he love Jose Sarr? Is this a move that you expect to happen, Mark McAdam?
Yeah, very possibly, because of the injury to John Victor at Nottingham Forest. There is renewed interest in Jose Sarr. We know Wolves' situation, so I'd imagine that this will rumble on until Monday, but goalkeeper definitely on his radar.
Lewis Dunk.
Yeah, this one really surprised me in some respects. He made his debut for Brighton in 2010, a long, long time ago. He's a one-club man, and I never anticipated Lewis Dunk leaving. There was an inquiry from Nottingham Forest to Brighton, but it was rebuffed very quickly. They actually got him to sign a new deal in December. So he is down on the South Coast until 2027. Maybe, just maybe, Brighton will say he's the number one centre-back. Maybe he might think, time for a change. Maybe he'll get a little bit more money at Nottingham Forest, and he thinks at 34 years old, this is my last opportunity to get some cash in the bank. But yeah, he's a Brighton legend, Brighton hero, absolutely. Through and through. So I'd be surprised if that one happened. But you can see that's the type of player that Sean Dyche wants. Old school, proper centre-half, stick his face in before he worries about getting hurt, and do anything to block that ball going in the net. So yeah, one to keep an eye on. And you nearly got signed by Sean Dyche?
Yeah, it was, I was about 29, 30 at the time. 3 million bid. Pennies back in the day, weren't it?
3 million?
3 million, yeah.
What happened?
Just Eddie rejected it and wanted me to stay, and the rest is history, really. But I mean, I was a Burnley boy. You know, it had been a great opportunity to be in and around family and stuff like that, but never materialised.
Wasn't it, as a baby?
It's where I started, got released, told I wasn't good enough, and made 500 plus appearances. So testament you can achieve anything, eh?
You showed them, Mark. Right, we're not expecting much business, are we, at Manchester United? But they are, I'm hearing, looking at a youngster in France, Mark McAdam.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily for this window. He's an 18-year-old, Kader Mate. He is a young player. That's what they all want these days. They want young players that they can mould, develop, and so on and so forth. Teenager is actually impressed with 3 goals in 17 in Ligue 1 so far this season.
Manchester United open negotiations for £50 million. Netherlands star as Arsenal stay interested. Manchester United have reportedly begun discussions with West Ham United over a potential move for Dutch winger Crescencio Somerville as they look to strengthen their attack this summer. Following West Ham's relegation from the Premier League, Somerville is widely expected to leave the London club. The 24-year-old joined the Hammers from Leeds United for an initial £25 million 2 years ago, and has since boosted his reputation with impressive performances, including a strong showing for the Netherlands at the World Cup. According to reports, United have held early exploratory talks with West Ham, who are believed to value the winger at around £50 million. However, any deal is expected to depend on Manchester United generating funds through player sales, with Marcus Rashford's future likely to play a key role. United are also monitoring Crystal Palace winger Ismaila Sarr as an alternative attacking target. Somerville has attracted interest from several top European clubs. Paris Saint-Germain have reportedly made contact with West Ham, while Arsenal remain admirers of the Dutch international as Mikel Arteta searches for greater quality on the left wing. Former Arsenal midfielder Paul Merson recently backed the Gunners to pursue Somerville, describing him as the type of player capable of helping Arsenal reach another level. Merson believes adding a top-class left winger could significantly improve Arsenal's chances of dominating English football next season. Manchester City close in on Jeremy Monga as Arsenal's step back. Manchester City are reportedly leading the race to sign highly rated Leicester City teenager Jeremy Monga, dealing a major blow to Arsenal's recruitment plans. The Gunners had been heavily linked with the 16-year-old forward, who has already gained first-team experience in both the Premier League and the Championship. Leicester were believed to value Monga between £10 million and £15 million, with Arsenal considering whether a loan spell in League One would benefit his long-term development. Recent reports suggest City have now entered advanced discussions over a potential deal, while Arsenal have cooled their interest after deciding Leicester's asking price represents poor value. Monga made history during the 2024-25 season by making his Premier League debut at just 15 years old, before becoming the Championship's youngest ever goal scorer during the following campaign. He finished the 2025-26 season with 30 appearances across all competitions and has continued his rapid progress with England's under-18 side, scoring against both Greece and Cyprus. Although Monga recently signed an academy scholarship with Leicester, he will become eligible for his first professional contract after turning 17 this summer. If an agreement cannot be reached between clubs, a tribunal could determine the final compensation fee. Arsenal continue investing in elite young talent despite this setback. The Premier League champions have already secured the future arrival of promising youngster Victor Osimhen, while academy stars Max Dowman and Miles Lewis-Skelly continue to impress. Thomas Tuchel provides positive update on Declan Rice injury. England manager Thomas Tuchel has eased concerns over Declan Rice's fitness after the Arsenal midfielder played through significant discomfort during England's World Cup victory over DR Congo. Rice returned to the starting lineup after missing the group stage clash against Panama because of a calf issue. The Arsenal star has also been managing ongoing nerve pain in his hamstring, which he revealed has troubled him since December. Despite completing most of the match against DR Congo, Rice asked to be substituted late in the game after briefly filling in at right back. He was later seen with an ice pack on his left hamstring, raising fears over his availability for England's last 16 meeting with Mexico. However, Tuchel insisted there is no serious injury. The England boss explained that Rice informed him he was experiencing severe pain, but believed it was only related to nerve discomfort rather than muscle damage. Tuchel remains confident the midfielder will recover in time and is expected to be available for the Mexico clash. Rice has endured an exhausting campaign, making 65 appearances for club and country while helping Arsenal secure their first Premier League title in 22 years and reaching the Champions League final. Reflecting on England's comeback victory over DR Congo, Rice praised the team's mentality after overturning an early deficit. He admitted the match became difficult, but insisted the players never doubted they would eventually find a way through, with Harry Kane's late brace sealing progression to the knockout stages.